Hi, this is Wade. I'm guest chefing for Kathleen Kastner, and today we're making vegan cornbread. We're substituting flax egg for chicken eggs, which is a lot less nasty. Alright, so we're going to start by heating 6 tablespoons of water. I've already done that, and we're going to add the flax egg so that it has a chance to set up a little bit and turn into a little bit of more of a kind of egg-like substance. Ground flax actually gels, and it will, like I said, create that kind of eggy texture that a lot of stuff depends on to help keep it stuck together, right? And cornbread's one of those things. So I found this awesome recipe from Genius Kitchen online, and we've been using it for years now. And we'll make sure that we post a link to it in the show notes below. Remember to like and subscribe, and you could even hit the bell button if you want to be notified whenever Kathleen posts a new recipe. Alright, so let's start mixing the dry ingredients. So it's 1 cup of flax meal, and we're using, I believe, Bob's Red Mill flax meal here. And then we're also 1 cup of all-purpose baking flour. That's also Bob's Red Mill substitute for gluten, since Kathleen's a little gluten sensitive. And it actually works really good in a lot of baking recipes, and this one in particular as well. So we're also going to put in a 1/4 cup of sugar, right, which makes our cornbread taste a little more like corn cake. Yay! And I like to just whisk all my dry ingredients, so I'm adding the salt. This is a 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt and 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Don't forget that baking powder can go bad. It can lose some of its efficacy if you've left it in your cupboard for too long. So if you're finding that your baked goods are coming out a little flat, don't necessarily automatically blame the gluten-free ingredients, which would have been what I would do. Sometimes it's because the baking powder goes flat, it loses its ability to make things rise. Sometimes we get away with, if we know that our baking powder is going a little flat, that we'll just add an extra teaspoon or something like that to help things rise and try to use up the remainder of the baking powder. So I like to whisk all my dry ingredients, get all my dry ingredients well mixed together, because we're not actually supposed to stir this a lot, the cornbread mix, when we're making it. So I'll also add now a cup of your favorite plant milk. So I'm just putting in a cup of almond milk that I just made. There's also a link on Kathleen's website to how to make your own almond milk. It's actually really easy, tastes great, and you know what's in it, right? No xanthan gum or guar gum or sugar or other junk in there. That was a 1/4 cup of olive oil, so there is oil in this recipe. It's one of the things that helps keep the recipe from completely drying out. And now, if you can take a look at that flax recipe, kind of looks like the same consistency as a whipped egg yolk, right? Kind of looks like an egg that's been whipped, so we're just going to dump that yummy stuff in there. Believe me, it tastes better than it looks. And it gives us those omega-3 essential fatty acids.
Can you remind them how many tablespoons of flax and water?
It was 6 tablespoons of water, and it was 2 tablespoons of ground flax.
Great.
And you preheat that, the water, get it boiling hot, and it'll help the flax set up a lot faster. So I'm still just using a whisk just because I like to minimize how many utensils I have to wash when I'm done, but we don't need it whisk beaten. We just want it well mixed, and so I'm just mixing it well, at least to the best of my abilities here. So that looks pretty well mixed, and we're just going to transfer this to an oiled, pre-oiled 8x8 baking dish. You can see this one's well used because we actually do a lot of cooking. We don't eat out a lot, maybe once a week, maybe twice max. And we're just going to pour that into the olive oiled baking sheet. The recipe calls for canola oil. You can use whatever you like. If you have sensitivities to different seeds and nuts, well, obviously you're probably going to have sensitivity to those seed oils as well. So soybean oil or olive oil might get you around that. So that's it, really. We just basically have the batter in an oiled pan, and we're going to put it in our oven. Hopefully we remember to preheat the oven. I should have maybe told you that at the beginning. Preheat the oven to 475, and we're going to put it in for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll see you back with the finished product. All right, welcome back. Finished product, fresh out of the oven, steaming. We can't even get the butter to stay on. It wants to slide off. Look at that, awesome. That's going to taste so good. So there's the finished product. It rose really well, and it doesn't feel like thick and gooey or anything like that that sometimes happens in gluten-free baking. So give this recipe a try. I guarantee it's really good. It's a hit. We use some agave syrup on it to sweeten it up even more. Truly makes it into a little dessert on the side of your chili. So don't forget to don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching us make some vegan cornbread.